Hey guys, it's Caleb and welcome back. I'm here with little Sky today, and today I'm going to be growing watermelons from seed. So the whole video is basically about growing quite a few different varieties of watermelon from seed right through to harvest. I wanted to put it all in one video so that you guys can see all the stages I go through to grow them. Anyway, let's go get these seeds started. It's a beautiful sunny day here in spring, so I can't wait to get this going. There's a little bit of a chance that we may get a late frost like we do some years, so I'm going to be planting these in pots and growing them indoors until there's no chance that we're going to get a frost. Anyway, let's get into it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and just filled these pots up with some organic seed raising mix, and basically I've just got one pot per plant, and I'm going to be planting 2 of every variety that I have here. So there's 10 pots, we've got 5 varieties. They're really easy to plant. You just put a little hole in the soil and drop your seed in. These ones are quite big seeds. This is the Moon and Stars variety. Drop it down and then just cover it up. Now, one thing that they do sometimes recommend is that you plant 2 seeds in each pot, and that way you can pick out the weak one and just grow the strong one. But I don't actually have a lot of seeds, so I'm just going to put 1 seed in each pot and hopefully it grows well for me. The reason I'm not growing them in a tray, or I'm not growing multiple plants in each pot, is because they generally don't like their roots being disturbed. So once they've grown, I'll just carefully remove them out of the pot and then drop them into the hole where I'm going to grow them so that I don't disturb the soil and they can keep this original mix around them. Alright guys, so it's been 3 months since I planted these from seed. They took about 2 to 3 weeks to sprout, most of them. Although the golden midgets took a bit longer, they took just over a month to sprout. So as you can see here, there are 8 plants left, and I originally had 10. So unfortunately I did lose one of the banana melons and one of the golden midget melons. But as you can see, there's still a good amount of melons to grow here, which I'm really excited about. However, it is about midsummer at the moment. We just moved house, so I haven't until now had a place to actually plant them in the ground. Let's get into that now and go and plant them in the ground. So as you can see, I'm going to be planting these in tyres today, and what I'm doing here is just putting some newspaper down to stop the grass growing up into the soil I put in here. And the soil I'm using is a mixture of normal compost and mushroom compost that I bought in bulk, and I've just mixed it together. Watermelons are pretty heavy feeders, so you could also add animal manure at this point, things like sheep manure, which you can buy in a pelleted form. I don't have any right now, so I'm just going with the compost. Now, because these plants have been in their pots for so long, I am going to tease the roots out a little bit because they are a bit root bound, but I don't want to disturb the root system too much. The plants are all looking really good, they're nice and green and healthy. Unfortunately though, I did lose the golden midget, which was the one that looked really bad when I planted it anyway, but that's okay, the other ones are doing well. Today I'm going to give them some liquid seaweed fertilizer, and I'm going to get it on the foliage as well because they'll absorb it that way too, and this should help give them a nice boost. Okay, time for another update, and you can already see how much the plants have grown just in the last 2 weeks, but come and check this out. We have some melons setting. So this plant down here is the Georgia Rattlesnake, and as you can see, it's got 2 little fruits that have set on it, and they're actually growing at a fairly rapid pace. They're sort of growing bigger each day, and they're looking really cool. They've got quite an unusual long shape to them. The Moon and Stars plant is actually quite interesting. It has little yellow spots on the leaves, which originally I thought maybe there was something wrong with the plant, but I did look it up and know that is actually normal for Moon and Stars to have the little yellow spots on them. This one has 2 fruit on it, and they were both the same size not that long ago, but the bigger one here has massively overtaken the smaller one, and the small one seems to have stopped growing. This one over here is the banana melon, and as you can see, the leaves are very different to the watermelons, but the leaves actually remind me a lot of the African horn melon or kiwano that I've grown before, and I've done a previous video on that. But yeah, they do look very similar. I'm not too sure if they are related or not, but yeah, very cool and unusual looking leaves. This one has an awesome little fruit starting on it, so I'm really interested to see how that turns out. But just one so far, lots of flowers though. And aside from all these ones, there's also the other Georgia Rattlesnake, which just has a very small fruit on it, but nothing yet is growing on the golden watermelons, so hopefully soon we'll see something going on there. Alright, so this is one of the Georgia Rattlesnake watermelons, and this one here pretty much I don't think's grown since the last update, but the one over here, which was the same size, has gotten pretty big. You can almost see it growing, you know, every day. I don't know if I should take this one off because the plant's already deciding to put all its energy into that, but I think I will just leave it on and see what happens because, you know, I'm just learning and this will be interesting just to see. This is the gold on gold. It's finally set a fruit. I did notice a few that were like tiny little melons, but they've dropped off. but this one has set, and look at that. Amazing golden colour. Really, really beautiful fruit. This one over here is another Georgia rattlesnake watermelon that's just suddenly blowing up massive, and it's pretty much catching up to this one over here. Now this plant over here is another gold one. Well, it says that it is, but that's kind of an interesting looking fruit. It's long, so strange. There's nothing else on here, so I guess we'll just see if that turns gold. And this is the Moon and Stars watermelon. This one is just growing bigger and bigger by the day. And then the last one, of course, is the banana melon. And it looks like it does have a little bit of powdery mildew or something on the leaves. There's that sort of dusty layer there. But the plant does still seem to be going well. And the little fruit that I showed you last time has grown. There he is there, very interesting looking melon. So really excited to see what comes of that. Okay, so we're a month into autumn, and today I'm going to be harvesting a few of the melons. But before we get into that, let's just go take a quick look at the melons, because there's been some big changes since the last update. This one over here is the one that I said was labelled as the golden watermelon last time, and it had that really tiny fruit on it. And this was the one that I showed, so it's gotten a lot bigger than the tiny little thing it was last time. And yeah, it looks more like the Georgia rattlesnake variety that I've got, but it's got a lot more yellow in it. So I don't know if it's a cross variety or it's some other variety. If you guys know, let me know in the comments. But yeah, it's a beautiful looking melon. There's another one of them growing over here, and one more down here as well. The Moon and Stars melon is looking absolutely amazing. Very, very cool. And it's pretty big as well. It's quite a decent sized melon. And it has obviously these beautiful dots on it, so I think he's getting nearer and nearer to the point of harvesting. And the banana melon, the plant has pretty much succumbed to either the powdery mildew that it was showing or something else, but it's pretty much dying off. And this is the melon here. They're supposed to be really yellow on the outside when they're ripe, and then like a salmon pink on the inside, so I'm not too sure what's going on there because this one is pretty green. This Georgia rattlesnake is looking awesome. It's got some interesting patterns. I'm not too sure if that's from slugs or something. And then the other one is over here, and we've got one down here as well. But this is the small one that I said was kind of not growing any bigger, and it's feeling a bit soft, so I'll definitely be picking that one today. Over here we've got this beautiful golden watermelon, and next to him, this one's growing over the top. This is another Moon and Stars from another plant. It's grown since the last video. This wasn't even in the last update, so that shows you how fast they can grow once they do set fruit. So I've heard that one of the best ways to tell if watermelons are ripe or not is to look at the tendril that's directly above the fruit. You'll always find that there's a tendril here. And as you can see, this one is fully dry right back to the base. If it's only sort of half dry, it's not quite ripe, but this one looks to be dry right to the top. And if you look at these ones over here, that one's not dry at all. And the golden one, carefully move him out, and I just snapped him. So I guess we're harvesting him today as well. Okay, so this is where it was attached, and this is the tendril here, and it is not dry. The tip looks like it's broken off, and this bit is actually, it doesn't look it, but it's very hard. It's not dry right to the base, but I think it was starting to dry, perhaps. Apparently, if they break off easily, then they are ripe, so I'm hoping that's true. We're gonna find out. But it's a beautiful fruit nonetheless. As you can see, it's got a lovely pattern on it. Now this one, the dog ran past a few weeks ago and latched onto, thinking it was a tennis ball, I think, and that's why it's so damaged. And I just flipped it over before, and it's actually split just today, so not sure what to expect for that one. Okay, moment of truth, guys. Awesome. Wicked, man. This is so cool. Such a cool moment to finally harvest a melon. Let's go see if it's ripe. Let's check out this Georgia rattlesnake. Moment of truth, guys. It looks pretty ripe. It could have maybe had a little tiny bit longer. It's got a bit of white to it, but it looks beautiful either way. It's got some quite big seeds too. You want to try some, Caroline?
Yeah. Oh, yum.
That's a beautiful watermelon. It's really sweet, really juicy. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's yum.
I'm actually quite curious to see what's inside this one now. I know it's really soft and I'm not really expecting much at all, so it'll be interesting. Oh, look at that. It still looks okay. Should we try it?
Yeah.
May as well. Here you go.
Oh, it's squishy.
The flavour's kind of a bit strange. It's not yet.
Spicy.
It's a lot different to this one. This one's nice. That's what Caroline thinks of it. I don't think it's too bad, it's still juicy. Definitely this one's a lot better. I think it was just more of the texture. This one was a bit soggy, whereas this one was really nice and crisp. This is the one I've been most excited about. That is weird. Okay, I'm not too sure what's happened with this one. I don't know if that means that it hasn't had enough water or enough time or what. If you guys know and have seen this before, I'd be keen to know why you think this has happened. Let me know down below in the comments. Okay, so this one tastes actually really nice. I was quite surprised. It's still really sweet and really crunchy and watery. Quite like this one actually. Really nice even though it does look dry in the middle. It's not dry at all when you eat it. If you look at it in here, you can see just how juicy it is. What do you think, Caroline?
Yeah, real good. Juicy, not too sweet, but like tasty. Yeah, it was yum.
Anyway guys, I'm going to leave it there for today's video, but thank you so much for joining me along on this journey. It's been such a fun and good learning experience for me and hopefully for you guys as well. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. I will be doing an update so you can see how the banana melon, the moon and stars melon, as well as that green and yellow variety turn out. I'm really keen to finally try those, so stay tuned for that. And if you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell as well so you don't miss out. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really look forward to seeing you all in the next one. And until then, keep well and stay safe. Bye guys.